If you're a heating air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what's a common issue almost all salespeople face and go through at some point and even do it in a sales slump? And why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sutherland Bell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. When it comes to your sales presentation, there are steps that you absolutely have to take, and then there's steps that could be hugely detrimental to your sales process. Okay, so if you draw out a time horizon on a piece of paper, on a piece of butcher paper, on a whiteboard, what you're going to find is that there is a way for you to look at how your process flows, okay? So this lower axis that goes across horizontally is your time run. You're going to start here, you're going to finish here. Now what happens is down here coming from the bottom corner, you are heading up. You have to build momentum. So it's slow. And it's actually like a negative. That's why it's backwards on here. Like you're like, hey, why isn't the axis down here? I'm going to share with you why. It's because you're starting most of the time at a deficit. You're building your presentation. You're building up. You're talking about your product. You're talking about your service. And down here are a bunch of squishy words in the beginning. Maybe, possibly, kind of, sort of. We may, we might. Lots of LY words. Possibly, like you're not getting buy-in. Now, I would not do this, but you could use all those words too, maybe, kind of, sort of, possibly, and realize that it is your role and responsibility to build that momentum up into the presentation. And your buyer, your client, your potential buyer, your potential client is going to use squishy words. Now, you can't freak out. You can't throw a fit. It is what it is. There's a point in the presentation, though, and I've got it about in the middle, where they start going, we can, we will, we want, we do. And then it is not your job to celebrate at this point because the job isn't sold. They have shifted in mindset, okay? Yay, freaking you. You have done your job to a point, and I got to give you like a digital high five. Like, good. Keep going this direction, okay? The reason I bring this up is I see that a huge problem happen a lot. And what happens in the world of sales is, like, you may think it's noble. Like, oh, well, you know, the people may not have the money. Well, if they don't have the money, you shouldn't be having the conversation at this point past the discovery phase. You may think like, well, I'm being noble by telling them, like, they can still think about it. And, like, they still, like, there's a point where squishy words got to go away. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication. Go to this URL, type it into a browser, drop in your name, your email address, maybe your phone number. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not the YouTube channel. It means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training. It's an email publication. You will love it. Okay? So I made a mark right here, right? It's a horizontal mark. That is like your go, no-go zone. That is like, do I continue or not? Have I addressed all the concerns? Some people call them objections. Have I got the budget? Do we have everything locked down? Do we have all this information? Are we just to a yes or are we just to a no? Okay, fantastic, good, we're there, right? This isn't the point for negative sales talk. Like, well, maybe you're still considering doing this. Like, no, that's back here in the presentation. That's back here in a traditional pitch. This right here is not the time to start going, oh, well, maybe you're still thinking about it. Maybe you're considering it. You've just undone all of your objections. You've just undone like, hey, like, no, at this point, listen, you've seen the goods, you've seen the product, you've seen the service. Like we are all the way right here and we're ready to go, right? And you're not creating objections. You're looking for the objections, okay? So the phrases that you're using are concrete. They're definite. We will, you want, we are, you are. Here's how you work with us. These are the next steps. And then that way you can start looking for when they're like, I'm not going to do this. You're looking for their objections. You're looking for their concerns. But if you go super squishy right here, all the way like right there at towards the end of the sales process, because like this is finito and this is all of your momentum, you've literally just undone everything that you're going to do. Now, this happens, A, when you don't have money and you couldn't pay for it. B, when you're in a sales slump. C, when you're in a sales slump and you don't have money. Or D, when you're not certain if that person's on board, right? So if you're not certain that person's on board, like, you should really know this right here. And you should address it right here. Hey, we got to have a conversation. Like, are all the things what you want in this project? Or you could ask it in a no. Are you against letting me know if everything's in this project? You have to know that this happens more often than not, where you're starting down here, you're building your momentum. You are building your momentum through your sales process. And then right here, for whatever reason, you get nervous energy. You don't have money in the bank. You don't think they're the right person. You don't think they're the right fit. And all of this gets combined. And the next thing you know, you're getting told, I want to think about it, maybe kind of sort of like they go squishy, right? And so be aware, happens a lot. Sales slump, no money in the bank, and a sales slump. And like when you don't think it's possibly maybe kind of a good fit. There is no way for me to explain this too much. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.